Hi, it's Writing Wednesday, and I'm here on the campus of Memorial University of Newfoundland, a spot where in years past I've taken a few classes, written a few papers, and even earned a couple of degrees. But today I'm here with a different purpose in mind. I'm heading over to the University Library, which is a great spot for the thing that most writers of historical fiction love to do, and that, of course, is research. I go through a few different stages of research when I'm writing a historical novel, and this is the early stage. At this point, I'm not looking for specific facts, names, or dates to fill in gaps in my story because there isn't really a story yet. Instead, at this early stage, I'm reading about the time period I want to write about, and wherever possible, reading primary documents from that time period because I want to get a flavor of how these people I'm going to write about would have lived, thought, and written about themselves. And there's no place better for that than the Center for Newfoundland Studies at Memorial University, where they have an absolute treasure trove of published and unpublished documents from Newfoundland history. Today I'm reading and making notes on a play called Go Home and Bake Bread about the early Newfoundland suffragists, and it's written by some women who are big names in both Newfoundland writing and feminism. It has contributions from Lillian Bouzan, Fran Ennis, Bernice Morgan, Helen Porter, and Anne Hart. I'm copying down a great quote that they include from an 1898 broadsheet. In Newfoundland today, a woman who manages her own business can have no vote, no voice in elections, yet the most incapable man in her employ may do so. Women of Newfoundland, demand your rights. I'm also taking a look through photocopies of a really interesting primary document, a newspaper called The Water Lily, which was published by and for women in St. John's in 1892 and 1893. It's a challenge for me to keep focused on finding articles related to the women's movement and not to get suckered into reading the wonderfully moralistic serialized stories that appeared in each issue, which were written by the editor, Jessie Oman. So it has in general been a pretty productive visit to the library, but I have to confess to a bit of a guilty secret. My guilty secret is that a lot of the resources that I go to the university library to look up are actually available online, right here on my home computer. Like issues of the Water Lily, for example. The fact that so many documents are available online today is fantastic news for writers and researchers who don't live near a really good library or archives and would otherwise have to travel a long way or just not be able to do that research. But sometimes if you're a working mom whose office is a corner of your bedroom and whose computer is being used by 3 other people who all have various needs and wants, and who sometimes need and want me for various things, well, sometimes it is just good to get out of the house to do a bit of research. So this was a good day. I did get to the library, I did some research, I learned a few things. Next week I want to talk about some of the things I have been learning in the process of researching this book that kind of lead me to reflect on how challenging it can be for a writer of historical fiction to accurately reflect the mindset of the people that you're writing about. And somehow I've convinced myself that in order to explain that, I may have to sing on next week's vlog. I'll see you on Wednesday.